Folks, lots of lies last night from the twice impeached, criminally convicted felon-in-chief, lead insurrectionist, and white supremacist Donald Trump. He stood before Congress, giving the joint session of Congress speech. Lots of stuff to say, long, frankly, boring speech. And what did he do? Lie. He talked about, he brought back freedom of speech while they also are talking about government censorship. He talked about how the economy under Biden-Harris was awful. It was one of the best economies we've had in half of a century. Now, the Federal Reserve is predicting that GDP is going to be going down because of the actions of him. He wants to crack down on protesters, cut funding for school. He also attacked diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then, of course, during his speech, he celebrates a young black kid who wanted to be an officer by making him an honorary Secret Service officer. That same young black kid fighting cancer, this is the same guy who's cutting cancer research in the federal government. He's a joke. He's a pathetic joke. And Republicans last night looked like idiots, constantly applauding and screaming and clapping. Democrats, most of them on the other side, objecting silently, some holding up signs. People like David Axelrod said it was despicable what Congressman Al Green did. I think David Axelrod's comments are despicable. I'll deal with that later. But right now, I want to talk with Pennsylvania Congresswoman Summer Lee, who joins us right now. Congresswoman, glad to have you here. First and foremost, let folks know. So, what was the strategy of Democrats going into last night? You had some members in pink, some folks dressed in black. You had some had shirts that said resist. Some were holding up signs. A lot of folks were mocking those signs, saying it looked like they were at an auction. And so for folks who don't know these conversations that take place in the conference, what was the strategy last night?
Yeah, I'm gonna just, keep it real. I don't know that I necessarily knew what the strategy was last night. I think that when you get down to it, right, we're a caucus of 212 of us, 213 or so of us. And, there are different caucuses, different groups of people who organize or don't with each other. And I think that what we saw last night was definitely a little bit of a pick your own adventure when personally, I think we probably needed a more concerted and a more intentional effort that was in one accord. I think that as we're fighting back against the quickly rising tide of fascism, of Donald Trump, and not just Donald Trump, but, all of these folks who have been working behind the scenes that are now coming in front of the scenes to take over and capture our country. As that is rapidly increasing, we're going to need to see a way more coordinated effort from all of us. We're going to need to hear from, and people, I think, are rightfully wanting to hear from us. They want to know that we match their urgency. And I think that yesterday is not going to be the last opportunity, right? It wasn't the first. It will not be the last. But it is an indication that we are going to have to get a foundation, a really strong foundation, because the time to start to build so that people from the outside can organize, so that our labor, our Black and brown communities, so all these folks can organize. We have to start to build that foundation. We got to do it right now.
So I saw this comment last night by David Axelrod on CNN, and I want to play this. Y'all go ahead and roll it.
So it's one thing to mine our differences. It's another thing to try and heal our differences. And that is, that's the difference between real leadership and political expediency.
Would it have been healing to stand for Mark Fogel? Might have been.
No, I agree. You are absolutely right.
DJ Johnson.
What I will do what you will not. I will say, I think there were times when they should have risen. I think what Al Green did was despicable.
So let me say this here. David Axelrod's comments are despicable. And he's constantly saying that, the problem is for Democrats, they're playing to the base and Republicans do the exact same thing. I saw what these Republicans did when President Obama was speaking. We saw and heard what they did when President Biden was up there, when they were standing up and yelling as well. And the reality is, one of the reasons why people sat at home last year, because they felt they did not see enough fight. The reality is that Donald Trump didn't somehow just dramatically increase turnout. that didn't happen. He didn't increase turnout among African Americans and Latinos. That was because of the voter participation of those folks actually dropped. And I said it point blank, and I don't give a damn. I said it on Twitter. David Axelrod is full of shit. He has no idea what he's talking about. I actually travel this country. I can guarantee you I speak to far more regular and ordinary people than David Axelrod would speak to an entire year. And what I keep hearing when I travel around this country, they actually want to see people demanding, fighting, sticking up. Now, here's the reality. Republicans control the House, 3-vote majority. Y'all have limited power to stop them from doing what they're doing. Senate Democrats have a lot more power. One senator can hold up nominations and hearings and all sorts of things. But if there's ever a moment where people want to see a pulse, they want to see a heartbeat, is right now.
Period. Listen, there's a cacophony of bullshit that's coming out from people right now. Nonsense. And to be quite frank, his nonsense didn't even register because, you know what, those are just not even the voices that we need to lift up. But right now, let me just say it. I'm going to go ahead and add in with Brother Al Green, who stood up, who took a stance because of something he believes in. But that's also what he always does because he's a brother who will speak up. And you're 100% right. We're all going to have to dig deep down and figure that one out because you're right. There are so many people right now who I am afraid are looking at what they're seeing right now and are going to decide that they have no faith in any of us, that they have no faith in anybody who doesn't have the courage to stand up. And that's me included. That's all of us. So right now in this moment, when we're talking about meet the moment, we can both and we will have to both acknowledge that we may not have the House, the Senate, or the White House. But we do have megaphones, we have platforms, we have a mandate from our own people who are looking for our own leadership. And what I want to say right now is that when we think about what the final fail-safe is in a democracy, it's the people. It is the people. And yes, that means that we still need our legislative leaders to stand up. We need our messaging to be tight. We need to look like we're resisting, like we care, like we understand this. But we need to be doing all of that so that we can empower the real people who are going to move this along, as history has shown us over and over and over again. The civil rights movement happened the way it did, not because Congress finally moved, but because the people moved it. Because there were people on the outside who were organizing, who were agitating, who were boycotting, who were striking, who were doing all of these things at once. And I think that everything we've done in our history and our community is going to lead up to this right now. So I want to be in the voices right now to say that I just feel like we are underreacting. We're underreacting. So whatever Axelrod got to say, he has a vision for America that is different than ours. So because our vision isn't what his vision is, whatever he thinks is, I thought that whole showing yesterday was despicable. I think the whole showing of what Republicans do every day. Right now, I'm watching colleagues, Christian colleagues on Ash Wednesday who want to cut Medicaid.
Right. And want to cut Medicaid. People are going to die as a result of the cuts to USAID, and these so-called pro-lifers are not going to say anything. And the thing that also jumps out at me when I hear the Axelrods of the world with their bullshit is this here. And this is my problem. And listen, God bless them, Biden, Harris, they riding together, going to the inauguration. But here's my problem. Too many people in the media, they want Democrats to uphold institutions. They want Democrats to act right. They want Democrats to do what's right. They want Democrats to know you shouldn't do these things. You shouldn't be acting that way. No, we have institutions, the peaceful transfer of power. Yet this son of a bitch, Trump, skips the damn inauguration in 2021. He doesn't come. Melania doesn't come. They don't come. They don't care. Oh, but they want to be treated with deference and respect. Okay, last night was a return to the crime scene. That's what you saw last night. And when I sit here and watch these folks like, oh no, that's not how they should behave. That's not what's going on. Yet when the right had the Tea Party protests and the Freedom Caucus, and they were doing all of those things to Obama. And I'm sorry, when Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high, I'm like, damn that. This is a moment where you got to meet force with force.
I think we got to throw that one out, right? That was cute. that was nice. It sounded nice. It's time to throw that one out. And listen, I think that, Roland, to get right to it, like, I think that people, listen, we got to understand, we got to live in a reality we live in. People don't care and they don't have expectations of the Republicans because they know who they are. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And there are enough of us who know who they are. So when people are looking for sanity, when they're looking for clarity, when they're looking for courage, they're not going to look to Republicans because they already know that is a party of racism, that is a party of misogyny, that is a party of fascism. That's what they expect from that. What they don't expect is for us to go along with it. They don't expect Democrats to give any space for that. So we have to recognize that people are going to hold us to a higher standard. And instead of us getting or feeling uncomfortable with it right now, it's time for us to stand in it. It's time for us to say, listen, if the democracy relies on the Democratic Party, then that means that we, each and every one of us, the 92%, everybody, we need to hold the Democratic Party to the highest standard, because if it fails in its endeavor, then the democracy fails with it. That means that we need to hold our leadership to the highest standards. That means that we need to hold our institutions to the highest standard. There is very little room for mistakes, little room for us to slip, because if we lose the faith of these people, then we are never going to have the movement that we need to counteract the movement that the Republicans have been working on for decades.
Yep.
And they have been working on it for decades. So Democrats do got to we do got to grow a spine. We do have to treat them as the criminal party, as the party of hatred and division that they are. We do have to see that they are going to be hypocrites. That's all they know how to do. But I hold me to a higher standard. And after yesterday, that's the standard I'm going to continue. I'm going to hold everybody in my life to that standard. Because right now, when I say that the clock is ticking on democracy, the clock is ticking. And after yesterday, listen, we're not going to get everything right. But after yesterday, after these last 30 days, after this last month, we gotta up the ante. Trump doesn't care about decorum. Trump doesn't care. Republicans, they don't care about whether what they're doing is honest or disingenuous. And I got so many colleagues who want to chit chat with us and chop it up with us in the hallway and then go out and do the antics that they do. That's because they're playing a game and they're playing to win. Period.
Well, I'll give a perfect example. Here is one of the most racist members of Congress who has no problem hanging around white supremacists. That's Andy Biggs. Listen to this hypocritical asshole today in a congressional hearing.
Kind of like what I saw on the floor of the House last night. I mean, I love the little popsicle sticks with the little construction paper signs. Those are pretty special.
Trying to spend less money.
And yeah, save on money. I appreciate you didn't want to be extravagant. I think I'm going to draw a response here, but that's really what we saw on display last night. Sophomoric, childish, not even sophomoric, more juvenile than that. Attempts to disrupt the joint speech. Now I'll yield back. Or I'm waiting for the
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. Let me start with the digression to address my friend from Arizona. First of all, I'm delighted that we were able to show you what a nonviolent protest looks like. And I appreciate the fact that you praise people for bringing signs and popsicle sticks rather than steel pipes and Confederate battle flags and Trump flags to beat people up.
Again, that's how you respond. But the person we're dealing with here, and see, I just think it's important when we talk about the person who was just talking, because a lot of folk may not know who we're dealing with when we talk about Andy Biggs. This is the same person. This is a piece that was in the Arizona Central. No biggie anymore for Representative Andy Biggs to hang with racist and anti-Semites. He participated in a Second Amendment rally that included anti-Semitic College Republicans United and the right-wing extremist Proud Boys. That's who the hell he is.
Yeah. And that's why we can't play into it. Right now, they're galvanizing their forces. They're all falling in line right now because they have a one-track focus, right? Their whole entire focus and their whole entire agenda is taking over this country so that people like them can keep their advantages. They can keep their unlevel playing field because they know that if this is an equitable country, if this is a fair country, they know they can't compete. They know they can't compete with Black folks who've come from the bottom for real, pull themselves up by no bootstraps at all, put themselves through school or trades or whatever it may be, and are still finding ourselves in the same room as them. That's why they have to keep moving the goalposts. So we know what their mission is, but that means that we can't play into it. That means that we got to tighten up. I want to see us not punching left. I want to see us not punching down. I want to see us not kicking people out of our coalition who maybe don't have the same perspective of us. I want to see us looking to understand each other more, because we're going to need it. Because when I say that we're in for the fight of our lives, I say if you don't see that from what they're providing us, then I don't know what's going to get that message across right now. We have very limited time, right? Democracies and backsliding, they don't last very long. History tells us that. So that means I don't care if you're Black or you're brown or you're Muslim. I don't care if you are urban or suburban. I don't care if you call yourself a moderate or a progressive or a leftist. If you are somebody who cares about the rights of human beings in America, if you're somebody who cares about us having equitable access to education or healthcare or housing, if you care about poor people and working class people, we have to get it together. We have to get it together, because these people are coming for everything that we have.
Yeah, they're coming for
everything that we have, and they're doing it in our face.
And this same Representative Andy Biggs, along with Paul Gosar, go to my iPad, both of them refuse to sign a resolution denouncing white nationalism. That's who they are. And again, David Axelrod won't say that kind of stuff on CNN. He won't bring those things out. And the reality is, to your point, which is why we spent 3 years trying to tell people about Project 2025, that these folks, and people are like, well, we didn't think they were actually going to do it. They told you.
They told us.
They told you. They are circulating the memo to get rid of 80,000 people in the Department of Veteran Affairs. What they want to do is decimate this country. They want to shut down these federal health centers you've been talking about. They want to massively cut, and the goal is very simple: to give tax cuts to people who make more than $360,000 a year. And not only that, they are shutting down. Robert Reich posted this. I'm gonna throw this out, lads, which was just amazing, and people don't understand how these crooks are in charge and what they are doing. He posted this: Trump has dropped investigations and enforcement actions against 89 law-breaking corporations, 42 cases at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, 15 cases at the Department of Justice, 6 at EEOC, 7 crypto cases at the SEC. It's a new golden age for corporate criminals. That is who they are working for, Representative Lee.
Exactly. Say it again, because right now, again, we got to know who the people are, who the crooks are, and we got to know what they're doing. So I know there are a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, you're pointing out the problems, but no. If everybody actually doesn't know the problem, people don't know that the reason why they're cutting Medicaid is because they want to give a billionaire a tax break. Everybody doesn't know that. Everybody doesn't know that they want to take food out of your baby's mouths so that their already billionaire friends can get another tax break. People don't know that Elon Musk is in the government right now so that he can mitigate and navigate his own conflicts of interest. They don't always know that the reason why they're trying to take out the CFPB, why they are firing, Gwen Wilcox and at the NLRB, they're attacking all of our points of power, worker power, the power of Black and brown people, Black people, especially Black folks, being able to get a good job so that we can get into, so that we can grow our economic wealth and opportunities. They're targeting all of the education, right, so that our kids can't get their leg up. They're targeting all of our points of growth and power, and they're doing it very blatantly because these new age robber barons, tech bros, tech barons, oligarchs, whatever you call them, however you call them, they're sitting right there in front of us.
That's it.
And we have to name it and claim it, because there are a lot of people in our communities who don't know that Elon Musk is a crook, because they believe that if you're a billionaire, then you must have worked for it. You had to have done something to be smart, right? Because you're a billionaire, not that he is somebody who grew up in apartheid South Africa, got his money off of abuse and theft and thievery, and that he is actually not a genius. We got to tell people that. We got to tell that story, and we have to tell it repetitively, because it takes multiple times for it to sink in for folks. So keep on saying it. Keep on putting it up there. Keep on making it plain, because the people of this country deserve to know what's actually going on right now. and they deserve to be empowered and equipped to combat it. We got to get people tools right now.
Indeed, indeed. Representative Sarah Lee, we appreciate it. Welcome to the show anytime.
Thanks, brother. It's always good to be here, so I'll be back.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Folks, again, last night, I mean, if you just broke down just the lies and the lies, Daniel Dale of CNN did a whole breakdown, and he literally did four minutes of just lie, lie, lie. Oh, yeah, he lied about this. Yep, he lied about this. Yep, he lied about this. I mean, that's what it was. And so, I mean, to sit there and listen to that, and as y'all know, last night on the State of Our Union coverage, we didn't carry that joke of a speech. You want to listen to stupidity? I mean, listen to this fool right here. Listen to this.
They bear with me, and they did probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you, too. I love you.
Let me remind y'all the tariffs last time that took place in Congress when Trump was there. Taxpayers, we had to bail them out of $28 billion. I just want y'all to know, again, taxpayers, American taxpayers, because of this idiot's tariffs, farmers were filing for bankruptcy, losing farms, losing money because of this idiot's tariffs. That's what we're dealing with when we talk about an idiot like Donald Trump.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. And right now we're accepting investors in our $17 million round to revolutionize the future of social media. Today, for just $399, you can own 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. While the big platforms have grown too massive and disconnected from their users, Fanbase is building a platform where creators and users truly come first. We've already raised $8.6 million from everyday investors who believe in this vision, and now you can join them. This is your chance to invest in a social media tech company with over 1 million users that is disrupting media by allowing anyone to reach all of their following and monetize their content from day one. The market is changing, big platforms are failing to serve their users, and Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now. Invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the future of social media.